listen, we're gonna watch this one before we get into the EDP interview, only because I saw this on TikTok. I saw this on TikTok the other day, and I was kind of rolling here. There's a clip. I think this girl all the way to the left talking about how this is a white girl who wears like a lot of she's wearing a lot of stuff. I think it's a white girl, and she's like, basically what it sounded like from the clip. It sounded like she was like, I know what it's like to be black because I have a black nanny, and so I just had to watch this video. So it's called "Who's the Most American? Assumptions versus Citizenship Test." I'm curious.
I was raised by a black nanny for my entire life growing up.
Yeah, lots of white people have been raised by black nannies.
I'll try to pivot.
Okay, well.
I'll try to pivot.
So that's the clip that I had saw, seen. So that was like a little bit interesting. So let's go.
Can I ask, like, what is everybody's family background here in America?
I'll start. My dad is actually indigenous. He's Native
German, Jewish, perfect combination. Boom, classic W.
American, Cree Nation, and my mom is a Black American.
Black American as well. I'm born here. My parents are from Compton. I also do have indigenous heritage as well, the Houma Nation in Louisiana.
My parents are just simple blue-collar working white Americans.
My dad's from California. His dad was from Canada. His mom was from Texas.
I was born in New York, but my parents are from Korea.
I was actually
Which Korea? Probably South Korea.
born in Europe, and I've been here for 7 years, and I filed for a green card recently.
Yeah, I was born in Colombia, raised there. American dad, and my mom's fully Colombian.
American Dad. Not quite as good as Family Guy. Pretty good.
What do we think makes an American, or makes someone more American than other? Like, what are our opinions on that?
Oh, I don't really know. I don't really care about that. People who live in America have a green card, I guess, or not, like, or just like they have citizenship. That's what makes an American. That's it. I don't know. I guess we're kind of losing. I don't know, bro. I guess we're kind of losing what it means to be an American nowadays. Well, I grew up as a proud American. I love this country. I love the opportunity it's afforded me. As you get a little older, you realize that it hasn't afforded everybody the same opportunity that it's afforded you, and you get a little disgruntled and a little frustrated. That's where I'm at. You know, I would be more proud of this country if this country worked for everyone else like it worked for me. But I feel like we're just not there. And that makes me genuinely actually sad. That's the biggest problem that I have with this country. I know that's kind of cringe, but I actually am very sad about it. Because like so I'm an Eagle Scout, and like there's a lot of America awesome in Eagle Scouts, and I grew up as an American. I'm an Eagle Scout. I love this country a lot. So when I heard about systemic racisms, I was like, fuck. Because you grow up thinking America's perfect, you know? Because it's one of the greatest countries in the world. And it makes me really sad when you hear about stuff like that. I know it sounds so cringe, but it's fucking terrible. What an unfortunate event. So, you know, America's still number one, though. Hamburgers and hot dogs and firecrackers and guns. But I would be much happier in this country if America worked for everybody in the way that like it worked for me. You know what I'm saying? That's what that would make me happy. That would be cool. So
I think it's a choice because we're like such a melting pot of everybody. But if that makes you feel proud,
did she tell us? Oh, yeah, she did tell us
then
what she was.
that's what you are.
I could like agree with that. I also think too though that like lineage does matter and make a difference, just because there are communities in America that have been here. I think that should be taken into consideration.
That's also my personal opinion. I get that a lot. It's like, oh, it doesn't get much more American than you, but like I haven't served in the military. I haven't, you know.
Right.
I've served in the Air Force for 6 years, and I don't think that makes
Did he? I thought you had to have good eyesight to serve in the Air Force.
me more American actually, because it was more of a trans.
By what metric are we the greatest? Most money, most expensive health care, least restrictions on the Food and Drug Administration of a first world country, fattest country, most guns. Hey, listen. What do you mean? What else do you need, motherfucker?
Transactional agreements. I got paid to do it.
Yeah, I agree as well. I was in the military.
It was more in the Air Force for 6 years. And I don't think that makes me more American actually, because it was more of a transactional agreement. I got paid to do it.
Yeah, I agree as well. I was in the military. If you're just like a dad who wakes up or a mom who wakes up working 80 hours a week, those are real Americans right there. People are like, oh, he's military. He must like love America so much. And like, America's just a piece of dirt on the ground to me. People who contribute to their community. And
You know, unfortunately, a lot of people go to the military are people who just didn't do particularly well in high school. I'm not even trying to be an asshole, but like a lot of people, like, listen, most people who go into the military or become cops, they're not like, there are people who become cops and go to the military because they genuinely want to do a good thing for the world. And I respect that, even if that may not necessarily manifest considering we haven't, you know, the way that America Haven't been in a just war in a while. But most people are doing it for the money. Like, yeah, I'm not doing too well financially. I'm gonna go into the military because they'll get me through. How honestly, you can make an argument that maybe one of the reasons why we have such bad conditions in America is because it breeds a lot of people who feel forced to go into the military. You know, that's why we should. I'm just saying, dude. It's part of the reason. It could be. Maybe it's not, but it could be. Come on, play.
Way. Those are the most American people to me.
Can you guys start rearranging yourselves as you ask questions?
I think number one for sure.
Yeah. Most American. I can't even give you like an account on like who would be the most American here. I would just go with this guy as most American because he has the biggest muscles. Then I'd give her number 2 because she's the most racist. I don't really know. I don't know how you would do that. Nobody's wearing an American flag T-shirt in here. You know what I mean?
And I just think only because you two have
Yeah, I can
connection to
go
somewhere else.
in the end for now.
Yeah, I'll move.
She's out for
Second to
now. I'm at the bottom, honestly.
Well,
For so many reasons. It's kind of weird, but I feel like I'm a human being. Like, that's my metric. That's what I'm concerned about. And I think that that's more important than being from a country.
Bro, this is every white woman who tries to cancel people on Twitter. Just want you to know. I don't like this girl. I'm just letting you know.
I completely agree. I imagine a future in which you can go anywhere, participate in that community respectfully, and like be a part of it. But I do think it's important to some degree to classify things because there are a lot of wrongs that America hasn't righted yet. I think once we get to a point where we can all like kumbaya together, none of this will matter.
The fact that there's so much to talk about in terms of like what has gone wrong or who did what you're doing is you're basically trying to blame somebody. And at all times.
Oh, she's the most American. Bro, come on, stop it. Like this is like, come on, what are you doing?
Has gone wrong or who did what you're doing is you're basically trying to blame somebody. And at all times, blaming people doesn't help with the actual issue is like moving forward.
Okay, so here's the thing. Blaming people doesn't help. She's right. But the problem is she doesn't know why she's right, I think. So here's the thing. When we have conversations about systemic racism, the conversation needs to be centralized around like what we could do to like overcome that and provide like more equal opportunity. It's not about which white person, like how bad white people are, because that's not going to help. White people, and no white person alive, like you hear it as a cliche, but no white person alive today like actually like contributed to systemic racism, right? They might be living a little lavish because they're white without knowing it, but like they didn't actively cause anything. So when you constantly go like white bad, white bad, white bad, it's a distraction from saying like what could we do to actually change things. And the responsibility is usually on like rich people with money to help change the system more than anything else, right? That part's true. But I think that part of her message is like when you say move on, it's that like just move on, like don't care anymore. Let's not examine like the negative aspects of like the system, which that's silly. Like you should examine what's negative about it and then like implement a solution, That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, we can't really move forward until we acknowledge what happened yesterday and we atone for it.
Why can't we just be okay and like just be good? Like we're so far
We have to
beyond
atone
that.
for certain things.
No, we don't. That's like that's more of like a religious thing.
So when you say atone, I wouldn't say like morally atone necessarily, because again, nobody that lives today has like had an impact on any of the racisms. But when you say if you say atone more from like a systemic aspect, like how can we rectify these things? How can we make them right? How you have a conversation about reparations. I'm a UBI guy. You guys know that I personally think it would be better to focus on poor people rather than a particular race of person. That's probably not fair because black people and indigenous people kind of got fucked. But realistically speaking, I would say that like for the most part, being oppressed comes down to outcomes. If you are a poor person, you were most likely oppressed by something. It could have been your race. If you're white, it probably wasn't. It could have been like your parents having a drug issue. A lot of people who are poor now were born poor into poor families with poor parents, and like you're not responsible for where you're born. So if we focus on poor people, I think that would have the best outcome overall for society in general. And it would still help black people and indigenous people disproportionately higher because they tend to be disproportionately poor because of systemic racism, et cetera. You get my point? That's where I would come from.
Yeah,
I'll try to pivot.
Okay, well,
I'll try to pivot.
It's not about pointing fingers at individual people. It's pointing fingers at like a system that still has like negative effects for lots of different groups of people.
Does everybody vote that can? And did you vote since you could?
I did not
ever
vote.
since you could?
That's a good point, but actually it's a good point.
For lots of different groups of people.
Does everybody vote that can? And did you vote since you could?
I did not
ever
vote.
since you could?
I didn't vote either.
I hate politics.
But the main thing about what
He's
we
not
fought
wrong.
for on any side in America were the right to do these things like vote.
But we
No, really quick. Okay, she's 100% right. Listen, okay, this is for real. Look, if you look at like the numbers, it seems that like old white people are like disproportionately more likely to vote than like younger people of color. And I understand that like being disgruntled and frustrated by the system, but if you don't go and vote, the America works by voting, by representing the people who voted. And if you're not voting, unfortunately, you're gonna have a tough time getting yourself represented. You know, and it's not just major elections. You know, educate yourself on local elections and shit too. It's true. So she's not really wrong here. She's actually kind of right. I thought she was just gonna be like the dumb white girl that's has a tan, but she's actually kind of right about that. So
when we have two parties to pick from, I would prefer the third party.
But again, this is a national. See, this is a problem. This is a federal level thing that he's talking about. A lot more like you need to focus on like local elections. Educate yourself on your local elections. That's gonna have more of an impact on you than like the federal elections for the most part. So like it's like, oh, there's only two parties. You're right. There are only two parties. But on a local level, things aren't as fucked as on like a federal level. You have a lot more impact locally than you do federally. It's very important that you vote, not just in federal elections, not just for the president, not just for Congress people. Vote for like your local elections, bro.
But the third party doesn't win, and if you vote for the third party, you're actually just hurting your own party. It's rigged. You do like.
It's not really. If you get involved, you can't help but be a part. You know, you can change it.
I'd rather take care of my immediate community, my immediate goals, my immediate life. I'm gonna be a good citizen, a good tax.
Yeah, vote for. What do you vote for? Your local dishwasher, bro. Like your mayors, your stuff like that.
Taxpayer, that's all that I need to do.
I agree with that. I can't vote, but I am very politically active.
Right.
So I think
do?
that might be more impactful than like
What is it? I'm just curious what that means.
all the third of the population who
You don't have to vote third party though. You can vote any of the normal people parties and still potentially have a positive impact on yourself.
didn't vote for whatever reason.
Do you guys believe that citizenship status correlates to how American you are?
I don't agree because there's a bunch
I mean, like, yes, I guess. I mean, like, what? Yeah, kind of. Like, if you're not an American citizen, I don't think you're very American. I don't know. Like, what is American to you? Seems like a silly question to me.
of people who come here with, you have to have $1 million, and they put you into like a community of like-minded or like people, and all it takes is $1 million for these people to come in, and they don't have to do anything but just pay that money.
Yes, there are people who have
Yeah, she's kind of right. I think what. Let me read this.
$1 million.
Correlates to how American you are.
I don't agree because there's a bunch of people who come here with, you have to have $1 million, and they put you into like a community of like-minded or like people.
I don't know specifically she's talking about. She's kind of speaking facts though about how it's easier to come to America. This is how I'm interpreting what she's saying. It's easier to come to America if you have like a lot of resources, because America will look at you and be like, oh, rich person from China, let's pull them in, right? But then they won't take in like poor people from other countries nearly like as easily.
And all it takes is $1 million for these people to come in, and they don't have to do anything but just pay that money.
Yes, there are people who have millions of dollars and invested into the country, but that's not the majority of the people, and there are people who are undocumented and they want to become citizens because this is the only country they've ever known, but they can't. Are they less American just because of paperwork?
I think a lot of it has to do with effort too.
I thought so. I used to believe that. I used to think that if I come here, I go to school here, I work here, I can become a citizen eventually. I had to get married because that was the easiest way for me to come here. I don't think it's a fair process. I can get a green card in a year just because I married an American, but other people have been here for decades and still can't get a green card. And
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I'm just gonna be honest here. Like, I don't think that people should be coming here illegally. I don't like. I don't know those people. I don't listen. I know. See, this is the shitty thing. I don't really listen, bro. I understand why people come here illegally because their country's fucked, and I think it would be great if America, as a country, tried to have positive impacts on these other countries where they're getting fucked, financially and whatnot. But I don't have a super big. I'm not super empathetic to people come here illegal, or like I am empathetic. I understand it. Like, I understand you coming here and like just trying to do the best for your family. I totally get that. But at the end of the day, like, our country needs strong borders or else our country falls apart. So it's like one of those things where like, this sucks, but you know what I mean? That's how I feel about that. It's just unfortunate. Like, if I knew that there's like an illegal, somebody that was living around here that's like an illegal immigrant, I would never go to like, oh, that person's illegal. But I would still go like, I get why you're here, but I wouldn't advocate for people coming here more illegally. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would come here illegally too if I had to. But then on the other hand, I understand we need like strong borders and we need to like maintain like a level of control over citizenship, or else our country could fall apart. All right, even Bernie Sanders said that. Okay, feel the
I
burn,
don't
baby.
think that is fair at all.
I think we should all just go through and finish our rankings and just kind of say why, and then maybe
That would be good.
regroup.
I think I'm number one. I think I'm the most American. I am a continuation of a long line of people who have done nothing but thrive and contribute to this country.
I mean, you don't have in America without Black and Indigenous people, just given the history and all the contribution. So I do feel like she should have been first.
Unfortunately,
I guess.
Really, the thing about America is that race is just connected to everything we do. And that's why it's a mess. There are several different Americas. We do not live in the same world. I can already tell we don't live in the same
By
world.
the way, I was raised by a black nanny for my entire life growing up.
Yeah, lots of white people have been raised by black nannies.
Well, I'm sorry, but she raised me as my mom because my mom wasn't there.
But
sounds like a typical white mom. I was raised by like a Hispanic woman named Jeannie, kind of. Here's how, like, I was like really close with her family because my mom worked for like, you know, White Castle, and so did she. And I remember my mom would drop me off there sometimes, pretty often, because my mom worked a lot of hours, and she would tell her, she's like, if he acts up, you can hit him. So I never acted up. I didn't want to get hit, bro. I didn't want to get hit.
you don't walk through life the way that I do, and I don't walk through life the way that you do,
I think
or that he does, or that
victim,
she.
Like, think to say,
I am not a victim.
You have as much potential as I do
I
at
know
birth.
that.
What
I'm
if
not
I
trying
had
to play the
somebody-
oppression Olympics here. I'm just trying to paint a picture so that you can understand that not everyone lives life like you.
I wish I could see the fully unedited thing, this conversation that they're having, because there was a lot of cutting here.
There.
But you don't walk through life the way that I do, and I don't walk through life the way that you
I
do,
think
or that
that's
he
such
does,
a
or that
victim,
she.
like, thing to say.
I am not a victim.
You have as much potential as I
And
do
I
at
know
birth.
that.
What
I'm
if I
not trying
had
to play the
somebody-
oppression Olympics here. I'm just trying to paint a picture so that you can understand that not everyone lives life like you. I hope she at least heard what I said.
See, there seems to be like a lot of cuts in this conversation, because like I fundamentally agree with this girl here and all, but like I feel like they're doing,
And at least maybe it'll echo, you know, in the future, and maybe she'll remember like this encounter.
I heard
I feel like this woman is, some of the things she's saying, like the way that they represented her with the whole like I had the black nanny thing, like it seemed like they're trying to paint her as like the dumb fucking white girl, but she's not really wrong about some of the things that she's saying. So like I really wonder, I think that she might be getting I was ready to bully her, but like I don't know. I don't know. I think that she might be saying things a little more nuanced than like they're making it seem like she's saying them, and I would like to hear her fully talk about this stuff.
Everybody's opinion and why they felt that they did deserve to be an American or didn't. We all have our views, and I think they're all going to be in the end the same.
You see, look at her. She's transracial. She's why she's got all the dark skin on, because she was raised by a black mom. So she learned to love her, love blackness, and she wants to be like a bit more black. Transracial right here, right? You know what I mean? Just saying.
That we're humans first.
I think it's best, for the sake of this conversation, to try to focus on our individual reasons why we're American, and not so much because our ancestors did this and that.
Then why did you guys put me at the front?
Because of what you mentioned, like as far as I understood, you want to be here, and this is like where you see yourself and where you identify yourself.
If I was showing up to this panel, I would be wearing like an American. I would go with like an American flag shirt on, with like a kitty cat holding a firework, and then I would have like a dress shirt. I have like a dress shirt that's like a little puppy dogs holding American flags, and I'd come in with a cigar. I'd wear my Budweiser hat that's the American flag color. I'd have my American flag on me, dude. I would wear my American flag Speedo pants, right? And I'd have a gun. And then you'd have to make me the number one American, dude. You'd have to make me number one American.
As being.
Do you feel American?
Ooh. Yeah, it's all I know.
You're more American than I am just because you would want to stay here. I would drop my hat and leave immediately. I'll go
But fucking leave, dude. What do you mean, yo? Just fucking
to
leave.
the back line. If like my girlfriend said, I want to go back to Taiwan, I'd go with her right away. Free healthcare, no mass shootings. That's already like two really good pluses to me.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, bro. I wonder why he doesn't. It sounds like he might have the money. I understand that would be the number one reason why. Wait, why doesn't your Taiwanese girlfriend want to leave? Wait, did he go to Taiwan or something? Was he stationed there? Is that what he's trying to say? Go back to Taiwan? Okay. Why doesn't she want? I truly am. I wonder why doesn't she want to go back? Because that's the implication I'm getting here. If she said she'd go, I'd go right now. Why doesn't she want to go back? Is there a particular reason she wants to stay here? Just asking questions, bro. Saying.
So
I choose America
Of course, I would participate in a Jubilee episode. Oh yeah, but I don't live in California. You know, I'm not a cuck, so they won't let me on.
all the time. But you know, if an alien from outer space came here and said he loved America and he doesn't want to go back to space, he's an American because he takes pride in it.
I'm gonna move myself to the.
Yeah,
I'll say
I would
number two.
also rate
You go back
myself
to
lower.
Colombia?
That's why.
I am like a dual citizen. Like I'm.
You know what's sad? It's that like I feel like almost that there's almost a competition to be the least American in this, because it's kind of a bad thing nowadays to be seen as an American. But I would love to be number one, bro. I take pride in it. I understand that there are issues in this country, but I still love this country. I would be like, yeah, number one American, pop a gut. Hell yeah, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Not just American. I'm also Colombian. That's still a huge part of what motivates me, who I am, the culture that I engage in.
I think it should come before me because if we're talking about like individual contribution, I think you've done more than I have.
Yeah.
There are guys who serve and do things and do really great things for this country, but like not everybody in the military is actively.
See, it's everybody that hates America. They want to distance themselves of being American as much as possible because it's not cool anymore to be an American.
Be on the front lines fighting wars. Not everybody's a Delta Force special operator. I chose to, not for patriotic reasons. It's like, do I go to school and get a lot of debt and not even know what I want to do with my life? Or do I take some time, think about it, and get the government to pay me my education?
Does everyone feel comfortable where they are?
Yeah,
I would say she feels very strongly.
She does.
I do.
So where would you want to place yourself?
I mean,
I'm
I think
curious.
that me
Number one, baby.
personally, the passion and the importance of me looking out for everybody that's an American and wants to call himself American, I think that's so valuable.
I feel like you want to say number one.
I mean,
That's
I
okay.
do. Honestly.
Yeah, I like her now. I like her. I like this girl.
I think that
She's trying her best. I respect this girl.
is me.
If we're going by her metric of contribution, since I am a public servant, I do travel, I do first responder work.
Oh, that's cool.
Emergency management. I would say by that metric, I would be number
You help.
two.
Yeah,
you actually
I
help
agree.
Americans. Okay.
Okay.
This is your final ranking?
All right.
Yes.
You're locking it in? Okay, great. What I'm gonna have you guys do is take a mock citizenship test.
Oh,
Yeah.
man,
So
me too.
I knew it.
As if I knew something.
You guys have all been given 20 random questions, and let's see how well you guys do.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Is this just gonna be? All right.
In 7th, we have Abe with 11
All right. You guys want to just skip forward to the reveal?
out of 20. We have a tie, Sydney, 11 out of 20.
A tie?
You and Abe tie.
Okay. Sorry, Mr. Adler.
In 5th, we have Devin, 12 out of 20.
Honestly, if you get the test wrong, the more wrong you get, I think the more American you should be. Because that means that you didn't have to take the test. You were just born in America. And honestly, one of the most American things you could do is to not be educated. So if anything, this should be a reverse test.
Sydney and I are definitely very impassioned about the way we feel about America, and we were the lowest on the totem pole. So
In 4th, Lance, 14 out of 20. In
the
3rd,
American.
Daniel, 18 out of 20.
See, look at that. He was happy that he gets to go lower. He's like, phew, I don't want to be American.
And at a tie for 1st, we have Gabrielle and Lila with 20 out of 20.
Wow.
Passing the civics test is a 12 out of 20.
What'd you get?
11.
failed.
well, I got 12.
failed.
Oh, so this.
No, we haven't got to the EDP stuff yet, my brother.
It's kind of funny that the people who had the loudest voices are the ones that are at the bottom of this whole ladder.
That tends to
That's
happen.
fair.
Of course.
Yeah.
I will say when Lila was talking about how she
What was the citizenship test? Right? They took an American.
how hard she had to contribute just to stay in this country, I think that speaks more volumes than being able to take a test.
100%.
I agree.
I was surprised by how low some of the scores were, but I also wasn't surprised that I got them all right because this is something I have to study. So I don't think it's necessarily fair.
It's much more important for them to know what's going on right now rather than knowing like random like trivia questions about history that not even American-born people know. Being an American is not easily definable. There's going to be always a sizable portion of the US that no matter how American you are and how hard you work to be here, they're never going to recognize you as an American.
I believe in a future in which America is a place where everyone can live harmoniously. I think we just need to do a better job of listening to each other, being more empathetic.
Thank you guys so much. Let's cut.
Huh. Okay. All right. So listen, I found a test. It's only 10 questions, but we're going to take it real quick. All right. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? The 13 colonies, right? How do I select my answer? Yeah. Okay. Next question. Name one right only for the United States citizens. I don't know. The right to bear arms? Am I right, guys? I'm going to say freedom of religion. Fuck you! That's the answer! Sorry. What is one promise you make when you become a United States citizen? I don't fucking know. I became one when I was born. Pay taxes? Fucking be loyal? I don't know. Who fucking cares? What is the one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? Fuck, dude. I don't even know this one. Let's see. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? Freedom of speech, right? Is the First Amendment freedom of speech, right? Speech. Yeah, okay. Who is the commander in chief of the military? Isn't it the President of the United States? Yeah, okay. What is the rule of law? I don't know what the fuck that is. Everyone must follow. That's it. Everyone must follow the law. He was right. I'm fucking American, baby. Why do some states have more representatives than others? Because they're fucking bigger states. Some states have more money, more land. It's not people, it's land. What? Wait, what? Wait, I'm pretty sure I'm right. What movement tried to end racial discrimination? Civil Rights Act, right? Civil Rights Movement, rather. What is the most important thing about Abraham Lincoln that he did? He was on the penny. Let's see. Freed the Native Americans. I thought he freed the slaves. I don't know. We'll go with this one. Wait, hold on. I'm a little confused. Why do some places have more represent? Wait, what's the answer here? This is not right. This isn't right. No, it doesn't make sense that it's more people. Is that the population count? Oh, I'm fucking dumb. Is it based on population? I thought it was based on, like, the size of it. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the Electoral College. That makes sense. I thought it was based on the size of the state. Un-American Papa Gut. We're just not going to add that to the video. We're just not going to add that to the video. How's that sound? Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching, and a special shout out to all my Patreon patrons, my YouTube members, and my Twitch subs. If you'd like to learn how you can contribute even more than you already are by simply watching the video, you can check the links down below, which will unlock a special feature depending on the platform that you subscribe to, such as Patreon here that will get your name right here on this wall. Thank you so much guys again for watching, and have a good one.